Hey, let's do this, crew. Today, I'm going to be replacing the belts on this Simplicity lawnmower. It's a 2004 Simplicity Broadmoor, 20 horsepower, hydrostatic transmission. The belts are really loose, so I bought this on an auction, brand new. They cost like $5,000. I got it for 600 bucks. It's 20 years old. I expected a few janky things, but man, this thing was janky. the uh, the knob there on the deck, wouldn't raise or lower it, is pretty much seized. I'd oil that up a few times. So I lowered my deck all the way down. I'm gonna be doing the belts. You gotta take the deck off of there with the blades in it. Simplicities are really nice because it is simple. Take that pin out. There's a washer in there you got to take off, and then it just basically falls out of there once you pull that rail to the side. And then in the front, you just pull a pin up, and then the deck drops down, and that's it. Then you just pull it off to the side. So what happened is I bought this on an auction, and the blades weren't all spinning evenly. Cut some, but not a lot. And I found out my middle blade wasn't spinning. It started smoking on me. The belt was burning. So I had to bring it home and check some stuff out. And I saw that the belt was really loose, both of them. The one that runs the blades, and then the main one that goes to the motor to get the blades spinning. So I took off the guards. Don't ask me what size ratchet I used. Same one for everything on there, though. So these were pretty loose. That's the problem. I have to figure out how to tighten that up or put a new belt on it. I already ordered new belts. And there's a surprise coming to what I actually fixed this, and it's not without replacing the belt. I'll tell you that now. So taking off the other shroud, and then I can get to that top pulley. So there's a tensioner pulley with the handle on it. I'm taking that off. As long as I got this deck off, I'm going to clean it up. So I'll hit it with the leaf blower, and then I get a scrubber on my drill. And, I just want to make it look nice. I just got it, right? So cleaning that off, so then, of course, I can find the bolts and screws a lot easier, get to see how the mechanisms work, because I didn't get to watch any YouTube videos on this. This stuff, the oil that creeps, really nice. I'm hitting all the bearings, all the pulleys with that. It'll work its way into it, and it really did work well. These things weren't moving the best, but with this stuff on it, they spun really well. So this is the tensioner pulley on the bottom, and then there's one on the top. And as I'm doing that one on the bottom, I'm trying to loosen it, and you're going to see my face in a second. What happens is it snaps into place, and it makes it tight again. So all I had to do is push that over. The bolt on the top was, see, I'm just like, what? I didn't have to get a new belt after all. Look how tight that is. So that's a tensioner on the bottom. Sometimes it can stick. I found out the bolt was going too far down and rubbing on the deck. So then it stopped it from moving, swaying side to side. I think if I would have just loosened that bolt, pulled it up, or tightened it to pull the bolt up off the bottom from rubbing on the deck, I wouldn't have needed to bring it home and do all new belts. But I have it here, so I'm going to go ahead and hit a few more spots with my penetrating oil. I go ahead and grab my grease gun too. There's actually a few grease points on the mower deck. There's some on the blades, there's one on top, and then there's two in the wheel joints, I'll call them. And checking everything out here. Make sure to remember, take pictures if you need to, how everything went together. Make sure it runs smooth. It's staying tight. I got it in place. I gotta figure out how to get that off all the way, so I end up taking the springs off also. This is me just trying to figure out how everything kind of works together. Like I said, there was no YouTube videos on this for me, so that's why I'm making one, help you guys out. If nothing else, if you don't have a Simplicity, if you're just watching this fiddling around for fun, appreciate that too. If you haven't, like, subscribe, share. I like to tinker around, fix things. I'm a DIY guy. I don't want to be spending money I don't have to bring this into a shop and do the belts, figure out I don't even know how many hundreds of dollars that would have costed, but I only spent $30 on new belts. So, and I learned a lot while I'm doing it. So here's the grease point on that pulley. So it works its way through the gears or whatever, and then so it moves around a lot easier, so you're not going to get that loosening of the belts again for a while, hopefully. Whoever had this, like I said before, is janky. They disconnected the gas tank, installed a new 1-gallon gas tank underneath the hood next to the engine. So here I'm taking off the spring. That takes all the tension off the pulley, so now I can take it apart a lot easier. Here's the top spring, so now I can, again, it's just checking how things work, loosening everything up. Remember how you take it apart. This one, I believe, 2 washers on the bottom, 1 washer on the top, and then you have your guide for the belt there. So put this on before you put the guide on. I had to do it a few times. And I think I might have done it again. Guide on, oh yeah. Had to keep reminding myself. Belt on, then the guide. So hopefully you just have to do it once. So put the washers on there, and then once that belt's on there, I can put it on the top of the other pulley. And then not until the deck is installed, obviously, I can hook it up to the motor. So I'm going to go ahead and loosen this up, see what that's all about, see if I can get it moving around. See how that arm swings around? That's what's tightening and loosening your belt. And that thing wasn't moving around at all when I first took this deck out. It wasn't until I was cleaning it and greased it up it started moving. So if you just think you need a new belt, if your belt's loose, check this and make sure it's moving. That might solve all of your problems. I wish somebody would have told me that. But now I took this deck apart and I can see how easy it is. I'm going to be sharpening up the blades and then bringing it back up north. I used it to mow a little bit even though it was uneven, and man, I can't wait to have a riding mower up there. I've been having a push mow till now. So I'm figuring out how to get that loose enough so I can, or over enough. I can force it over with that spring, and then I be able to get that belt on there. Or just take it all the way off, I guess, and then push it up onto that bolt. There we go. So same thing, you know, you don't want to force the belt up and over the top of any of the pulleys because that could damage it. And potentially it won't get the right snugness on it. So here I'm figuring out, putting on the spring, attach the other spring. It moves so nice now. It's tight, pulls it all with it. I'm just, again, and I use the old belt. This isn't the new belt yet, but I'm just going to keep the new belt for a backup. I've just been so happy with how that worked out. Shocked me. So hitting up the rest of the joints. Then I'm going to be installing it back into the mower here. Then you put it on the same way you took it off. I always connect the front first, and then I connect the back with that slide that you put the pin in. The decks aren't very heavy on these. It's not much to muscle it around and wheel it. Get it lined up as much as I can. Then again, if I didn't say it before, of course you want your deck lowered all the way when you're doing this. So same thing, you just push that pin through, and then it locks into place. And here you just lift up, push it back. There's a rod there you twist, and that locks that on. Now I can connect my top pulley to my engine, and that's all there is to it. Did have some tires leaking air too, and I'm going to be posting a video on how to fix a leaky tire with a tire fix kit, especially since it's a lawn tractor and it's not a car that you can be driving around all the time, high speeds. I plan on just keeping that plug in long term. It fixed my leak, so there wasn't just one or two things with this mower. I had to do quite a bit to it, but you know, all in all, $600 plus some work and some learning, some teaching, Makes it all worth it. This belt is fighting me a lot because I have to keep pulling on that tension pulley, and then loosen it up and try to get it up and around that motor pulley. But I finally got it. Then once everything's on, you put all your shrouds back on, your covers. I find these older mowers are a lot easier to work on as well. There's just more covers and more safety things with the new ones, which great for safety, but nothing else. And here it is working.